Welcome, everybody. We are T Transitions, the podcast for women who've taken the bold step to build a life abroad. I'm Rose Davenport.
I'm Farabik.
Today, we will dive into real stories behind starting over in a new country, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. We know some women face unique challenges in their transition, from navigating unfamiliar cultures, forging new support systems, to confronting discrimination and systematic barriers. So, by sharing honest and diverse experiences, our goal today is to inspire, inform, and empower women. So, just to give you an overview, T Transition is here to offer candid, nuanced conversations that you won't be able to find anywhere else, that spotlighting both the victories and the struggles while nurturing a supportive community for women living the expat life or considering the leap. We hope our show will help you make confident choices and remind you that you're not alone. So without further ado, let's start the show.
So today I am going to be interviewing my podcast founder, Rosy.
Yay!
Yay. So can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up where you are?
Sure. So, I was born in Singapore, and in my high prime days, I started my career working in a travel agency. And then when Asia first got hit with their financial crisis in the 90s, I then switched career to the IT. That's when my interest in technology came about, my interest in being engaged and connecting with people grew even more on top of my traveling days. And I met my husband and I moved to Virginia back in 2000 and have lived here ever since for almost 25 years. We have a daughter who is currently in school, pursuing her one day career to be a nutritionist. So right now we are an empty nester here at home, but we do have pets, three pugs that they gang up on me and keep me busy. And I'm also a self-employed because of the market shift, should I say. I decided to run my own executive search firm called Source for Hire. And during my downtime, this is where my ideas came about to come out with tea transitions. So, just a little bit about tea transitions. Several personal moments inspired me to share my tea journey publicly. Moving abroad and navigating the challenges of starting over in a new country opened my eyes to the power of simple rituals like making and sharing tea in creating comfort, connection, and the sense of belonging.
That's true.
Tea is just part of our culture. Um, Tea is also a welcoming gesture to open up a dialogue, making your guests feeling comfortable and at home. So tea, in my opinion, became a bridge between my heritage and my surroundings, which naturally sparked meaningful conversations and friendships across multicultures.
That is true. A lot of culture drink tea,
Yep,
really, and tea is a welcoming drink in a lot of different cultures.
that's right.
Now, when you arrived in 2000,
Hmm.
tell us how that assimilation and uh, adapting to living in the US is like.
I am probably the weird one in our culture in the sense I was a go-getter. I just am driving myself to try new things, very adventurous, want to be different than the others. So when I have this aha moment in Singapore to say, I know one day I'm going to move I mean, I'm going to leave Singapore and move somewhere because I don't want to end it up one day being a brat. Because we are living in a city, I want everything. I want the car, I want the credit card, I want the cash, I want the condo, all of those luxury items. So moving to Virginia, yes, even though we are still considered a small city, I live in a suburb area. It wasn't hard at all because in my head, I already knew I can make it. I can break the ice. I'm a social butterfly. I can make friends. So eventually, my husband introduced me to a lot of his friends and families, and I automatically, open up myself and spread my wings and reach out and make friends with other Asian communities, which here in Virginia, we have a lot of Vietnamese, we have a lot of Chinese. I see a lot of Indians too at that time, but not so much folks from back home like Singapore or Malaysia. And I wasn't into the other online group like maybe common, like you guys might have heard of the mixed marriage, expat life, something like that. I have zero clue, zero knowledge that it ever exists until Facebook. So I make friends with a lot of the Vietnamese community, and that was how my um, side hustle started to be their wedding singer because there was a band that was looking for an English singer because all of their songs were all in Vietnamese, but they're not comfortable in singing in English. So I then said, hey, I used to sing in Singapore at Planet Marina. I used to have a band. We played for fun. We'll give it a shot. So we practiced in the garage for like 3 hours on a Friday night, and the wedding was on a Saturday, and we did excellent. So I was their wedding singer for 15 years.
Wow. So in a way, it was through another Asian community. Regardless, it was another Asian community that helped you assimilate
Yeah.
and acclimatize to
I
the
don't see
life that.
myself any difference at all, even though there was a lot of language barriers. The Vietnamese have their own, accent, and it was hard to understand them. But music, to me, music kind of glue us together.
Mhm.
Food kind of glue us together. So for the
Yeah.
longest time, for my first 10 years, I learned so much about the Vietnamese community, how to even make some of their dishes. Some of the famous dish, pho. Hey, I'm the queen of pho. With the Davenport family here, every time they knew they're coming here or I'm heading to their place, their request is always, can you make pho? I say,
Oh,
sure.
wow.
Yep.
So you're the honorary Vietnamese.
As you know, I only feed my family because you and the rest of my friends are better cook than me. So long as I have the ability to at least come close to the taste, I'm okay. And they have
Yeah.
not complained.
Oh, well, I've yet to taste the
Taste.
pho.
I know,
Okay.
right? Since
I've
we've
yet
been
to.
friends
Exactly.
one
Come on.
day.
It's about time I get some. I didn't
Oh,
get
this is so
any.
embarrassing.
Yes. Everybody hear that, okay? She has not fed me pho yet. This famous pho of hers, okay?
Not yet.
About
Ah,
time.
akan
About
datang ya,
time.
jangan
Yes.
marah.
So, okay. What were the challenges during that transition?
Challenges. I think for me, the biggest challenge was more about my career because I walked away already in the mid of my career. I was involved in projects. I was an analyst. So when I moved here, immediately I have to start from scratch because I have zero experience working in America. That was the first thing that they looked at me and they talk about it. So I said, fine, I'll just accept whatever I can get. And my
Yeah,
first job paid me 30,000 a year.
yeah, yeah.
And it was
And
in downtown Richmond. Ugh, I hate it.
yeah, I think that a lot of us go through that, And then when I share my story, you know my story. So
Hmm.
our listeners too will hear that a lot, where
Yeah,
we actually have to start from zero
yeah,
when we come and when
that's
we
right.
relocate. to another country. It's a huge challenge for most of us who
Correct.
are used to working and are career women, you know. So
Hmm.
now, how did you connect with your culture since you were not in touch with the Singaporean or Malaysian community here?
Um, Somebody introduced me to somebody through Facebook. And that was probably 12 years after I moved here that I attended my first Hari Raya gathering and wearing baju kurung.
Mm,
Um, it was actually up in Maryland, Suraya Toy's house. And that's when I met you and the rest of the ladies. Um, it was kind of weird in the sense that it's been a while, but at the same time too, I was so excited because I get to finally meet folks who are common like me, that I can continue to speak the language, that I can eat the food that I'm not a good cook in cooking rendang and all of that. Back then, I don't know how to cook. Most of my cooking style have always been Vietnamese or Western. Now, if you're to ask me, I'm slightly better, thanks to all of you.
well, we're happy to share. And that's what it's all about, sharing, right?
Right?
Sharing is caring. Now,
Exactly.
yeah, you mentioned the baju kurung.
Hmm.
Now, how often do you get to wear that?
So I still have families living in Singapore. I would call them, I would message them just to request and order stuff. So they would, you know, get me baju kurung. Or what I also love to do is actually request from my mom to send some of her baju because she's
Oh,
about the same size and height as me. As you know, as we get older, we shrink. So I'm like my mom's height right now. Um, it's a little big the size wise, but I'm fine. So that's kind of helped me a lot from not being homesick, which I was kind of surprised that I was absolutely fine not going back home all those years. And everybody was like, how could you not be homesick? How you have families there, you have
yeah.
a daughter. And I'm like, no, I made up my mind when I'm ready to go back home,
Mm,
I will go back home.
uh,
And it's just a family thing for us. Is no news from me to my family is always good news. So
yeah.
I just
Now,
go with that.
now, 25 years ago, how often do you keep in touch? Unlike today, you know, WhatsApp and all this social media was not around. How often do you keep in touch with your family back then?
So I'm a bit odd because my biological parents, they were separated as soon as my mom gave birth to me, to my understanding, to my knowledge. So I grew up with my grandparents, late grandparents, and my uncles and my aunt. And um, up until the age of 19, when I finally told myself I need to move out because these are not my original family, with the amount of little money that I have, I move out and live by myself all the way till I was 28 when I moved here. Um, I was still keeping in touch with everybody up to that point, and I guess, when I'll call them or we have WhatsApp, that's how we video call even till today. And I guess, like I said, from my family background or the history of my family, it's just a bit different than most
Different,
of you
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
but I'm okay with it. I'm
hmm
just so blessed that I have my own family here.
yeah,
Alhamdulillah, knock on wood,
hmm
everybody's doing well.
yeah,
Husband healthy, I'm healthy, our
hmm
daughter Faithborn healthy. I'm not complaining. I'm so
okay.
blessed.
Now, at which point did you realize you have finally settled? How long did it take you?
Not long, actually. I would say immediately.
Really? Wow, you are different for sure.
I don't dwell anything that is negative that come my way. I can't afford to do that. Because personally, to me, that's a waste of my time to think about that. I need to then flip it and make it a positive thing, and for me to motivate myself to work hard for it. Because we were all raised in Singapore with the DNA it's in us that you never give up, you never wait till somebody, present you something or give you anything. You got to work hard all day, every day.
Yes,
And I haven't stopped doing that.
that's true. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good thing to bring over, you know.
Yep.
Speaking of bringing over, what have you retained from your upbringing and your life in Singapore, apart from your culture?
Obviously, values, family values, obviously, strong work ethic,
Mm,
obviously, the culture, various cultures that we grew up in Singapore. Um, I think the most important thing to me is family value because, to be quite honest, and I'm sure some of you out there might agree with me, growing up in Asia, we have a certain style of upbringing, right? Our parents
yeah,
are strict, we can't do this, we can't do that, blah, blah, blah. But it's definitely an eye opener and very challenging to raise your kid here in the
oh,
Western
tell
world.
us
There's a
about that.
lot of influences, there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of peer pressure,
Mm,
there's a lot of differences that it's hard for me as an Asian mom to tell the opposite family, what's right, what's wrong. I just have to continue instill that principle to my daughter and explain to her the difference so that she then can make that decision herself from right to wrong. Of course, we have open communication. We allow our daughter Faith to be very independent, to expose her to be adventurous and explore the world at that age. But I guess with consistency, with strict regime in the house, we have schedule, we have routine. That's how we can say, okay, this is the time block for school, this is the time block for after school, this is the time block for you and your friends. Sunday is family day. Uh, you have to finish your homework before the weekend, or otherwise, no sleepovers, your friends are not here. So it's always, the same. So there's no expectation of um, trying to loosen up the discipline as she get older. Nope. If you're to ask her today, she would agree with me to
mhm,
say that my mom was strict, but I am who I am today because of my
because of that.
parents. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: Are you a tiger mom?
Hell no. Girl, with me being goofball all the time, you think I am? I don't think so. But I am very vocal. I'm a practical mom as an individual too. And I work in IT and HR today. So I always play that role outside home as well as in the house. Um, Whatever that is not practical or doesn't make sense at all, I will share the reason why, and it's up to you to make that decision. But the decision that you make sure I'm not involved if it's something negative.
Okay. Now, I understand you were very active with the Vietnamese community in terms
Mhm.
of being on the board um, of the Asian Association, if I'm not
Yes,
wrong.
the
Yeah.
American Asian Association of Central Virginia. It's
Mhm.
a nonprofit organization. It's a board where it consists of all of the other Asian countries and representative of each country that will contribute anything that is happening in their own community. For example, we have only a handful of Singaporeans here. We have people from Burma, Nepal, Malaysia, Brunei, Philippines, you name it. So once a year, we'll have the Asian Festival, which is like early May timeframe, and it's held at the Richmond Convention Center where we showcase our ethnicity, our background, our
Mm,
country, our food, and the community will come every year to enjoy what's in the program. So my role for a while was to actually reaching out and approaching corporates and ask them for donation
Ah, okay.
because this is a nonprofit. So everything that we do is not given by the states or federal. It's all based on donations from the community.
Okay. And was it easy getting assistance?
Yes, for a long time, um, it's just part of the tax purposes here that if you have donation to the minority group, then it's all tax deductible
Mhm,
kind of a thing that they have.
mhm.
Um, Pre-COVID, everything went smoothly. Post-COVID was even better.
Oh,
But
really?
I think, yeah, and of course now with the new generation members that joined, they came up with different ideas, different
Mhm.
performers, different groups of people involved to be taking part on the Asian festival. I think for a while, I heard there's also folks that came from North Carolina, South Carolina,
Oh,
Georgia,
mm,
Maryland that would come to this event because it's that huge. And
ah,
Richmond is the capital of Virginia.
yes.
So everything that's involved here,
Mm.
everybody wants to be a part of.
A part of, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, with your upbringing in Singapore, do you
Excuse
think
me.
that has in any way helped you adapt to living in the US?
1000%.
And why is that?
Um, Number one, to be considerate of your neighbors, right? Some of these places that we are familiar with, they have this thing called HOA. What is it? Housing
Homeowners Association.
Homeowners Association. Obviously, I don't have HOA here, so we can do
Uh-huh.
whatever the hell we want in our
Yeah,
property. But for me, even though we don't have HOA here where we live, but I still instill that, hey, just be mindful of the noise, even though we have noise ordinance at 11 o'clock at night. Whatever we do to the fence or the backyard, make sure that it's not too flamboyant or it's not gonna irritate the neighbors.
yeah,
Consideration is one of the things
yes.
that I always play a role,
Mhm.
and even parking in the cul-de-sac. We live in a cul-de-sac, so at one point we have like three vehicles or four vehicles on the driveway. But when there's gas and everything, we would personally walk around the neighborhood and just let them know, hey, we have some event going on, or just a celebration that you're gonna be expecting a lot of cars. They're going to be parking everywhere. Do you mind? Da, 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 da. Or then you automatically invite your neighbors to come over. Things like
That's
that.
right. Do you
Yeah.
share food with your neighbors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Christmas, I think this was back in 2020 during COVID. It's just the six houses in this cul-de-sac. I actually made lontong and invited
Oh,
them.
cool.
Like it or not, they ate them and yeah,
See,
habis, finito,
so
kering.
so who
The
says you cannot cook?
girl, I'm not as good as you.
No, 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 no. Let's not start comparing.
But yeah, they appreciate it. So I made
Mm.
lontong, sayur lodeh, and I, of course, the fried chicken and bihun goreng, mi
Wow.
birthday,
Hmm, hmm.
keropok,
Oh, wow.
shrimp crackers. That's
Crackers,
it.
yeah.
Something simple.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? It's something foreign to them,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
So now that having lived here now for 25 years, do you think you would relocate?
I would love to.
Really? Where would you?
I would love to. I only moved here because of my husband, and he has been living here in Virginia throughout his life.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And for me, I personally have visited close to 90 countries,
Wow.
thanks to my days of working as a tour guide.
Yeah.
So now it's my time, now that we are an empty nester, Faith is back in school and she moved to Louisiana with her boyfriend. I am looking forward to explore new things. I look forward to kind of, see the other side of the world, maybe places that Bob hadn't visited, like
Ah,
Austria. He's got family ties there,
no,
but he
he
still
hasn't been.
haven't visited.
Oh, he
He's
has to.
waiting for me to, yeah, and go from there.
Okay. Now, at this point in your life, what does the future look like?
I want to continue spend some time give back to the community. That's always been part of my life. Small scale or big scale, even running my executive search firm, I am still thinking that I'm helping not only the company to fill their job, to streamline their recruiting process, but I'm also helping job seekers. As you know, here in America, the job market is horrible. So I act as a counselor to them. I act as an advisor to them to help them, work on their resumes. I want to continue help the asylum seekers, the refugees, help them to prep interviews, help them with their resumes, introduce them to my network, when they're ready to go back to the workforce, which I know today is not really the time to talk about that, but I would love to continue to do that because I will be very much happy every day, all day to do that. That's something that no money can't buy, but I have that gift, that talent to use up.
So
Yeah.
you're wanting to share it
Oh yeah.
and help others.
Yep.
That is a very good cause, you know. Now, and I know you are crazy about animals. So let me tell you people what Rosie's dream is,
I
okay?
wish this is an alcohol. No, I'm just kidding.
She would like to run an animal shelter, actually. She would like to have a farm where she can take care of animals. Am I right?
Yep. I would love at least 10 acres.
Wow.
Op Open up an animal sanctuary up in the mountain. I will definitely want to have alpacas and llamas and chicken, obviously for the eggs. And then I want to continue rescue dogs and cats. And inshallah, if I have that extra money to help the community to pay some of the vet bill, because personally at this age, I enjoy the animals more than I enjoy human beings.
I totally understand that, and I hear
I'm
that's
sorry.
what that's what happens as we get older. You know, we
Yep,
cut off all the excesses and all the noise, right? This is very typical.
sorry.
Yeah. So, what were the cultural expectations or norms that you had to adjust or unlearn or reframe when you came?
I think just like anywhere else, you just have to be adaptable and receptive of the difference, and then educating your audience is the key to voice, to acknowledge the difference, and so as not to raise any conflicts. You're better than me, or no, your culture is this way, or no, my customary outfit is this way, much better than yours. No, we have to know how to tone it down, the communication, and then blend well. Accept
Yeah.
and, uh, knowledge is power. So if the more you can share that awareness and knowledge, you'll be fine with anybody, anywhere.
That is true,
Yeah.
And what advice would you give someone who is going through, the same kind of transition now in 2025?
Have an open heart and open mind. Don't worry about what others going to say about you just because you look different than them. Be friendly, smile, treat people with respect and kindness, and then just enjoy the ride. When you behave as such, then you will see what else is coming forward to you, and then use the gift that you have and the talent to break it apart to make it yours. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, yeah. You have to just keep rolling with it and
Yeah,
take it one day at a time,
yeah,
and adapt. Yeah.
correct.
How do you define empowerment for yourself?
Empowerment for myself.
Or let
Mm,
me rephrase that. What is empowering to you?
what is empowering to me? When the whole community can agree to disagree and laugh at stupid shit. Don't be too sensitive because we're living in a world whereby everybody is just too sensitive over little things. Just chill, just relax. Have a good
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah. You are very good at that actually. She's very chill. Her whole personality is like that. Um, what do you hope that someone listening can take away from this today?
Give it a try. Don't be afraid. Because if you continue to be living in the afraid world, you will never get a chance to travel and experience life, or even have the experience to say, hey, I did this, and it boosts up my confidence and open up my heart and my eyes to be adaptive to a different culture in a different world, that I can make it mine.
Yeah. Now, at the as you are a singer, right? What song helped you through that period? If there was a song. I'm only relating this to a song because you are a singer.
I don't have This is so stupid of me to say this, but I'm just going to say it. I don't have a specific song. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But I have a whole playlist and it's all the 80s and 90s song. You name it, it's everything there. Um, and I love music to a point whereby everything is all music to my ears. You see me moving. You see me singing to it, dancing to it. Um, even orchestra, even just, a cappella. Oh yeah, I'll sing. But that's the beauty of music. You should be able to just enjoy it.
That is true. Well, today, we have interviewed our founder, Rosy Davenport. And if today's story resonated with you in any way, please subscribe, leave us a quick review, share this episode with someone who might need it. This is how we grow as a community, reach more
Yep.
women on their journeys. At T Transitions, we honor every woman's voice,
Yep.
every experience, and every story matters. As you take your next step, may they be strong, bold, and true to who you are. Until the next time, be gentle with yourself and with others. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.